and welcome back to the All Right Podcast. Remember, it's not the best podcast, but it's not the worst podcast. It's just an All Right Podcast.
An All Right Podcast.
Yeah, thanks, James. Lovely. So, guys, welcome back to episode 46 of the podcast. We're almost on 50 episodes. And, guys, I can say now that on the 50th episode, we have a special guest. We will have Sir Steve O'Timothy on the podcast for the special podcast. So a lot of 4 more, and we'll have a celebrity on. But for now, we also have another celebrity, a celebrity of Wicklow, would I say. So when I'm talking about a celebrity of Wicklow, I'm talking about my co-host, James Byrne. Hello, James. How's it going?
What's the crack?
What's up? So James is going to be the co-host of this. I want to try something new. I want to try something different. So I asked James literally about...
My podcast, not yours.
Take over.
That's how this is going to go. Straight.
I told you,
that's just
not on air. We can't talk about this on air. But yeah, I only asked James literally a minute before will he come on and do co-host, and he was like, yeah, sure, why not? He said something to me, but I'm not going to repeat what he said. But yeah, so guys, we're going to I'm going to introduce a guest now. He is an actor. So for what I know so far, that Corey Patton. So hello, Corey. How's it going? What's up?
How's it going?
What's up?
Really excited to be here.
Yeah, well done. We're all here. So, James, I'm going to start off asking Corey a few questions. Now, Corey, I want to talk about you childhood days, right? Growing up.
Right.
So, right now, you're an actor. Is that something you've always been interested in since you were a kid?
Well, I've loved movies since I was a kid. I've always spent hours upon hours watching films, and it was always a dream to just one day be on set at least. But I don't think it really manifested until 4th year. In transition year, when we did the musical Oliver. And then when I got on stage, I was like, no, yeah, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. So in school, most things didn't interest me, like business or anything like that. It was more the arts, so music or acting or anything like that.
Yes.
Oliver's a good one to start off with.
It was really good. It was a lot of fun because obviously growing up, I loved Oliver the movie. Yeah, so I already knew it really well and just knew how to have fun with it straight away.
James, you also done a play as well, didn't you, last year?
I did.
You did. Do you want to talk a bit about that? About your play?
Christmas Carol.
The Christmas Carol, yeah, and what kind of character you played and so?
I was one of the donation seekers, and it was really fun.
Yeah,
it was very fun. It would have been my first group play, not in college or anything like that outside. With a theatre group. That was Model Box Production, and that was my first taster really, and I'm definitely going to be sticking with them for a long time to come.
And for like you, Corey, when you done the Oliver Twist, what character were you? What character did you play?
Bill Sykes.
Bill Sykes. Now, I'm not very familiar with Oliver Twist. All I know
Bill
is
Sykes was the villain, and in the movie, Bill didn't have a song, and I always had I have a fear of singing publicly. Yeah. So I was like, right, Grant, Bill doesn't have a song. I'm going to dive in for this character. But then, to my surprise, he actually does have a song in the stage version.
Oh no!
So they got me to sing that, but it was fine because I don't mind singing in a deep tone.
Yeah,
because that's where I'm kind of comfortable with.
Yeah,
but because his whole song is just strong men, and then it goes on real burly.
Man.
And so yeah, I was kind of comfortable with that, but I was really happy to get Bill as well. I was still delighted to get it, even though I had to sing, but still a lot of fun.
Yeah, because I wanted to do acting, and I don't think I'd be good on a stage doing that. I don't think I'd remember the lines.
To do acting.
I want to do it.
You're an actor. Yeah, you've been in films. You are.
No. You make your own films when you're in other people's films and so. But for the likes of stage and stuff and all, I'd be afraid going onto stage, performing in front of people and forgetting my lines. That would be my biggest fear. But for the likes of used to would
see when that in my experience now, it's when you go up on stage, and Corey might be the same now. You kind of, the adrenaline kicks in, so your brain kicks in. so you remember all your lines. Very rarely will you actually like forget your lines. You might have a hiccup or something, but like once you just keep on going over and over and over again, just do it like muscle memory, really.
And I think if you really, it's a lot easier if you get into the head of a character. So if you actually dive into that mindset, and before you go into stage and have that mindset, your lines will just flow flawlessly. Because you've worked on it for so long, you've worked on that character, you know the person inside out. But I have forgot lines in my degree year down in Coláiste Dúlaigh, I was in a play and I forgot lines on stage. But I feel like that was because I got into my own headset. I got into Corey's head instead of staying in the character's head.
Yeah.
So I lost track of what was going on in the scene. But usually the adrenaline, as James said, will push you and keep you on track to remember lines and everything. You use that to your strength.
And when you done that and you realize, right, this is what I want to do, I got my first taste of doing this and performing this live, when you continued and you went on, what was the next thing that you done that was like that kind of impacted your life, saying, right, this is a next step into doing acting?
College. I knew that I wanted to go on and study it. And the thing is, in my school we had speech and drama, but you only had it up till third year. And then fourth year you had the musical, but fifth and sixth year there's nothing for drama. So when so I just knew after fourth year, when there was no speech and drama, that I want to do this day in, day out. So I'm going to study in college and just put my all into it. So I was looking around to see where I could go, and then I found Sallynoggin, and I was like, right, I'm going to go here. I auditioned, and I thankfully got in, and I spent the year there, and we put on Portia Coughlin, and that's when it really sunk in that because I had more time on stage with that one, so I kind of was able to get more comfortable being on stage as well. So I was just like, no, this is where I want to stay.
Fair. I have here, I done a deep dive on your social media anyway, and it's seen here that it was coming up of Mermaid Arts Centre. Is that in County Wicklow? Now, what is that? Can you talk about that a bit more?
The which?
The Mermaid Arts Centre? That's what I was saying.
Oh, in my bio, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, that was for before this whole thing kicked off, I was in a production of Death of a Salesman, where I was playing Bernard. For Square One, a theatre company in Bray. But since this started, we were actually supposed to have our last night tonight, I think. Tonight was supposed to be our last night. And but sadly, with everything going on, we had to postpone it. But
one of the first things to go was our theatre group as well. We were supposed to do The Lady Vanishes, and I think it was actually going back into February that actually here. No, we're not doing it now. And it was just kind of like, okay.
And now everyone's kind of guessing when they can put it on, because like no one knows anything that's going to happen.
That's
and
true.
most shows don't really go on in the summertime. It's more so start of the year, end of the year kind of a thing.
Why is that? Why did you decide to do that?
It's just, I don't know, it's just the busier times of the year seem to be the end of the year and the start of the year. Summertime, people are doing their own things, going on holidays and whatnot. So
so for the likes of the Death of the Salesman, can we talk a bit about that? How did you go out auditioning for that, and so what was your kind of your steps?
I've worked with two of the lads who were in it previously, Byron Hayes and David Butler. I've worked with them two before, and Byron asked me to contact the director because he put my name forward for it. So I rang up to give the director a phone call, and we had a short conversation, and he just goes, well, from what Byron has told me and your headshot and all, I actually would like you to take on the role. And I was absolutely delighted. This would have been my first production second production outside of college. So I was really looking forward to it, and Death of a Salesman is such a huge production as well that I was really excited to just join and be allowed to join and be a part of the cast. But then we were deep into rehearsal. We were about a month and a half, and then the Mermaid just said we have to postpone it because they're not allowed mass gatherings.
Yeah,
I was heartbroken, to be honest. I was really enjoying the play that we were doing with Model Box as well, and I can't wait for this. This is gonna be deadly. We're gonna do a 4-night run, so that like decent amount, and then it was just like nope. So it was quite sad, actually.
Yeah, it is, and it's really annoying as well.
I was getting really into my character. It was really stereotypical, like, we are in a train, can you not tell? Like a really, like, stereotype German character, and I get so angry and everything on stage, and I was really getting it. Like, I love this. I was, like, scenes in it. I was like, yes, I'm going to explode on stage, and it's going to be great, and people are going to love it. And then it was just like, no, you can't do it. And I was like, because actually, like, I spent an entire, like, an entire day acing my lines, because we were supposed to have the second act off, and I had the entire play off. I was like going in, I was like, yes, this is going to be a great rehearsal. And it was like, yeah, we're not doing the play anymore. Broke my heart.
I was saying to James, me and James done a podcast for him itself, but I was asking him as well, I want your opinion on it as well, Corey. Do you think after all of this is over that there's going to be a lot more acting jobs out there because like Joe for like Irish film jobs and so that's because the amount of people that are in right now and they have nothing to do, so they're literally writing scripts and they're going to be looking for a cast. So in your opinion, do you think it's going to be a lot more jobs or not?
See, it depends, doesn't it? Like, it depends on how we kick off all again. Like how many people are going to be allowed to be on set at one time, or like what are the new rules that are going to be put into place? So I think judging, I'm kind of up in the air. Yeah, there's a point where there's so many scripts being written. There has to be, and for a few years after this, there's going to be a load of pandemic movies, TV shows, books, whatever. Like they're going to overdo it. We're expecting that. Yeah. But there might not be as much work because, one, there's no finance in it really because nothing has happened for a few months. And two, it depends on, as I said, the new rules. So if there's only allowed a certain amount of people on set, that might not work for a certain script. They might need more.
Yeah. I think that's a good answer now, to be honest. What do you think about that, James?
Yeah, no, I agree with him.
I agree with that fully.
Yeah.
It's just tough to guess right now, like anything else. It's just, no one knows. Like Trump's out here telling people to inject disinfectant.
I didn't know what that was. I had to look that up. I was like, what are you on about? Like, people, I was like, what are they on about? And then I looked it up and I was like, huge. Yeah. Oh my God.
Just because it cleans surfaces in a minute, he thinks it can clean up your lungs. But, let him do him.
Let him try it first. Yeah, we'll watch it live on telly. And we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Take a shot there, Trump, and see what happens.
Yeah, take 3 or 4. Do what you want.
Make sure about it,
But yeah, because the likes of me and James, I wrote a short film called The Lotto Ticket, and I asked James to star in it, and I didn't know James at all. And James came up to mine over the few weeks and done it. But me and James got to know each other really well, like doing that, and then we started writing The Hitman. That I even texted personally and said, "Man, will you audition for this?"
And I was looking forward to that.
I was looking. I wanted a young Hitman, a young version of the Hitman, and I was literally like, "Let's say this." Remember, I was saying to you, "Send me a show reel." Remember, I was texting you on Messenger. I was like, "Should send me a show reel." And then I was watching. I was like, he could actually be grand for that. Like, he could be good for that to get me. It's just the look and then, the style and so I was like, he could be good for this. So, but we were supposed to hold auditions on the 11th of April in a hotel. And me and James and Rebecca, our friend Rebecca Flynn, the three of us supposed to be judges on that, and you are supposed to come that day, and and I was looking forward to it. We were looking so forward to it, and I was like, fuck, this shit happened.
I was like, there was so much happening that I was looking forward to that is just gone now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm assuming these are all the same, but I was supposed to be busy up until June with work. And now I'm just like, there's nothing. Now, it's not like I had extra work. So there was that Matt Damon and Ben Affleck film. I got a role for background work on that. And then I was hoping to get onto Valhalla.
Yeah.
But like now that's obviously all stopped. But I got real annoyed because I left retail back in Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
To pursue acting.
Same as myself. But I didn't pursue acting.
And then this all just fucking kicks off. 2020 is just like, oh yeah, fuck you.
Yeah.
And like, Grant.
So this was your year to actually like sit down and go, right, I'm going to pursue this. And then it was like, no. We're putting a break on that.
I think everyone was like that. Remember, everyone you see that on Facebook memes about 2019 was the worst, and then it was like 2020. I was like, actually, can we go back?
Just take me back a year, please.
Yeah.
I don't care if I'm working in retail still. Just take me back there.
Oh no, I'd rather be fuck that. Retail is so bad. Like,
that was a nightmare.
Yeah, it's so bad. But yeah, I want to get into a segment, right? And it's a new segment. It's a brand new one. So you're the first ever guest to get into this segment. So guys, please introduce. Instagram. So I took a deep dive on your Instagram and I looked through a few posts. Now, on August 19, 2019, you went to Venice and you was it in 2019 or was it 2018? I'm pretty sure it was probably 2018, was it?
I went in 2018, yeah.
Oh, I wrote it up there and I said 8. So yeah, 2018. Sorry about that. And you said this place is nice. I'm sorry, I had to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And you went. I want to know more about that because you went to see the Robin Williams star, star sign, and you went. You also seen the Michael Jackson. He putting his hands in the cement inside that.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you about that. Like better when the days were good and life was great and we could go anywhere. What was that like, because I seen that you said it could have been probably one of your best trips or so. Someone organized
yeah, no, America would have been my favorite trip because we went to so many different places. Like Venice was our last stop, but we started in Chicago for Lollapalooza. And we spent like 4 or 5 days in Chicago. Then we went to Lake Tahoe. Then we spent about 2 days in Lake Tahoe, went to Yosemite. Then we spent a night in Yosemite, then went down to San Fran, and then moved down to Venice. Like, I think we were there for about 4 to 6 weeks, and it was the best trip of my life. Like, it cost a fortune, but it was so worth it.
Yeah, it's for someone like me or someone like James there. What was your kind of preparation for that? How long did you have to wait? Like, when did you start planning it? How long before you could actually go?
I think me and my friend Temba started planning it the November or December before. So we started just thinking, where would we like to go? Yeah. And then how easy is it to get from place to place there? So after Chicago, when we flew from Chicago to Nevada into Vegas, and we rented a car for the rest of the trip. So we were like, which would be the easiest way to travel? So we did it that way. So it took a few months. I think we got it fully down by January. So then we knew where we wanted to go, how long we wanted to stay in each place. So we knew we just needed to save then. So that took a bit of time, but we were able to pay it off gradually, like pay off place by place. Yeah. We were able to find cheap enough flights as well, like connecting flights. So it wasn't too bad. So we started in November, and then it was until we didn't leave until August. Jesus. I think it took a few months to pay it off though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'd fucking say so.
Because I took out a student loan and paid with that. And I think I've only
fuck college, man.
Because I paid off my college.
Well, come here, Dix. Yeah, experience, I say. That's experience for the rest of your life, you know. So it is worth in the long run. But James, you went to Las Vegas, didn't you?
Oh, it's deadly, man. It's like walking in a movie. It's savage.
Yeah, it really was. Like, we only got to drive through it, but my God, it was crazy.
It's just right in the middle of, like, when it's nighttime and you're by the Bellagio with the fountains and everything going off. I was like, I've seen this in so many movies.
Is that
I knew this part.
Is that where you wanted? Is that your dream place to go, Corey? Was in America? Was that your dream place? Everybody has a dream place
America,
they want to go.
Anywhere in America was always my dream place. I always just wanted to visit the States.
Yeah.
Because as a kid, it's always like growing up, I always thought it was like the glamorous lifestyle and everything.
Yeah.
And the older you get, you're like, maybe not.
It's a bit
but okay.
weird, yeah.
And then when I was so disappointed by Hollywood. Oh my God.
Why? What? Come on, we talk about that then. What's the story with that?
Oh, because it's a crap hole. Like there's just rubbish everywhere.
Yeah.
It's a state. Like if I do actually become famous from acting, I do not want my star down there.
Yeah.
Like, fuck me. There's rubbish everywhere. There's fucking human shit on the ground.
Sounds like Clondalkin. You're describing Clondalkin. You're describing Clondalkin, you are. But for when you went to see the Robin Williams star and so, I know a lot of people, they dream about seeing these stars and so, and like I'm that type of person that would have, like the idea would be really good, but when I get there, it won't be as what I expected. And I'll be like, oh, so it's just a star. Lovely. What was your kind of excitement when you got to see all that?
I suppose like just their signatures, because like the rest of it is just their handprints and like their footprints if they're there, but like just their signatures, seeing how they sign their name and all, because obviously we don't all have their autographs.
Yeah.
But like, because the main people are outside the Chinese theater, like the top of top actors are outside there.
Yeah.
Well, you'd have to search for ages if you wanted to find anyone who wasn't like a top A-level actor. So you'd have to walk 20 minutes to find like a singer probably who you love. So like it's a bit all over the place, so it wasn't as great as I was expecting either.
Yeah. And
there's no way of telling where the certain stars are. So you could just be walking around looking at the floor for ages.
They say map of the stars or so, don't they? Is that like more the stars' houses or
I couldn't even find that map.
Yeah.
Because I didn't even know what it was. But I think that's kind of
going back.
As well.
Yeah, that's going back a couple of years ago. I think that like nowadays that kind of stopped because like privacy and whatnot. Yeah.
And I want to go on to now to your next Instagram. You went Throwback Thursday to the closest I will ever get to Kevin Hart. That was on the February 19, 2015. So what was that all about?
Him and Josh Gad were over for the Wedding Ringer premiere. And a friend of mine won tickets. And I've been a huge Kevin Hart fan for years. So I jumped on the opportunity. But like when we got there, we realized that I wouldn't get as close to Kevin as I thought, because there was a press kind of barrier in front of us. Yeah. So like the people who are standing in between me and Kevin in that picture are actually press. So they're interviewing him and all. So they have the right of way. But I was still delighted that I got that close to Kevin Hart.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's hilarious. And then I went to see him twice when he came over here.
Yeah.
When it was 2018 and 2017, I think it was.
Yeah, I went to the same one, Tree Arena, was it, in Dublin? Yeah, I went to that as well with a friend of mine. We went in and we were actually 6 rows. We were in the 6th row down at the... So we were just looking at him. And when he brought out... Because he has feature acts, didn't he? He has his friends, the Plastic Cup Boys, I think they're called. But there was loads. And I was like, when is Kevin Hart coming out? And all these fellas are like 6 foot something. And I'm like, Kevin Hart is small. But when Kevin Hart came out on stage, I was like, what the fuck? Like, he is so... Like, that's the size of him, James. James, that's the size of him. He's tiny.
On stage, that's what he looks like.
Kevin Hart is me real, that.
He's tiny, man. And I was like, what the fuck? And I enjoyed him. But for me, that I've realised, because I've gone to see Lee Evans when he done Monsters. I love Lee Evans. I'm sad that he retired. Lee Evans, Tommy Tiernan, Kevin Hart, Michael McAdoo. I went to see a few of them. But I don't know what it is. I wish I could enjoy them live, but I enjoy them more when I watch them through the telly. Does anybody else have that kind of fucking...
It's because when you go to see something live, you're experiencing it more so than watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think his old stuff was probably better as well, though. Then there's 2 shows he's done here anyway. I wouldn't say they're his strongest either. Like his first 3 are brilliant.
His was a Laugh at My Pain. I'm
a Grown Little Man.
Yeah, so funny or something. Was that funny? That was my favorite one. That was everybody's favorite one. That was kind of like, but he's done. He's been in films like Scary Movie and stuff like that as well. He's the little kid.
And you forget him in that, like,
you do. You do.
like,
I didn't know that, and I had to go back and watch them.
Pushed over.
Yeah, and you don't know.
It makes fucking sense.
Yeah,
it makes so much sense that it is him.
And what for the likes of you, I want to ask as well, is that we have one more here. This was on October 4th, 2019. So this was pretty recently as well. That What I Stand For. You put out a trailer for that. For like, so can we talk a bit about that?
Thanks, bro.
Who sent that to me? Was that you that sent that to me, James? Who sent? Yeah. And I watched it. It was you, and I watched it, and I really enjoyed it. Greg's in that, isn't it? It's one Greg's in it as well. I did enjoy it. Can we please talk about that? Like, for the likes of going through the process of auditioning for it to where then you had to go on the traveling for it. So please, can we start off with the audition, and how did you audition for that?
Yeah, again, my name was put forward. Bobby Calloway put my name forward to Zach Gould this time. Mm-hmm. And Zach got in contact with me and asked me, did I have any interest? Like, he sent me the script and he asked me to do a self-tape with it. Mm-hmm. So I did. He sent me 2 scenes. So I filmed both of them here in my room and then sent them off, and then he was delighted with them. So he asked me to jump on it. So I think he started a WhatsApp group about a week before we started filming, just to give everyone like the location, what he wants done on each day and all, and basically for us to get to know each other. So when I first got the location, I was like, where the fuck are we going? Yeah. Like, it was the Glen of the Downs, but like it was the middle of like the trees. So you just saw this one, I think it's the N11 or something, just driving past it. But then it's just this field of green, and I was like, how am I going to get here? Like, I don't have I don't drive or anything. Yeah. So I texted him and I was like, here, how am I going to get down to Glen of the Downs? And he's like, just get the 1A4 down to me and then we can get a lift. And I was like, grand. So that panic about getting to the location was over. So the first day I went down to his, and I think I was there for 9 a.m. Jeez. And we went up to the location. Like, it's a beautiful spot. Because he knew like this back road up to get close to where he wanted to film, but it was still like another 20-minute hike up with all our stuff as well. So it was a bit of a tough walk, but it was well worth it as well. So then the first day, it was a lot of that running scene that you see at the start. I think we spent like 3-4 hours of just me running around the place, getting different angles and different like the sounds and all. So I was pretty wrecked up at lunch. I was just like, okay guys, I'm just a bit tired, my feet are sore, just calm down, just time out please. But then we stopped filming around 5 o'clock on the first day. So we went back the next day, and it was a shorter day because we didn't have as much to film, but myself and Laura, who was in it, have a fight scene. Now, Laura's a stage combat instructor. She's a stunt woman. And I was really excited to do this because I didn't get the opportunity, like you did, James and Biffy, to do stage combat. Because our year just didn't get it for some reason. I don't know why. But I was really excited because I've never done it. And I was like, this would be really cool. Like, it's always something that I've wanted to do my own stunts, or even attempt to do my own stunts. Just to challenge myself on film. So now it's a fight scene, so it's nothing too big or crazy. But we spent about an hour and a half going over that, because where we were filming it, there was loads of rocks and all on the ground. And during it, I fall, she kind of flips me. So we had to practice where I was going to land and make sure my head didn't smack off anything. And we had to clear out the way. So we got that down, and we filmed that a few times. Then on the third day, we just filmed the house scenes in Zach's house. So the one when me and my brother, when he's getting sick and everything, and then me and my mom. So we filmed that on the third day. But Zach realized that after we finished that day, Zach realized he needed another shot up in Glen of the Downs. Oh. So it was the shot where I'm coming around the corner with the gun.
Yeah.
And then, like, the kid's there on film.
Yeah.
But it was just me and Zach and Robert Madden, who was his camera guy. So it was just the three of us. And I was just like, oh, so we have to come all the way back up just to do that one little bit. And he's like, look, I'm sorry. It just didn't look right. And we need to just get that done. And I was like, oh, fine.
Yeah.
We just went up, took about 5-10 minutes. And then his mom just dropped us all down to the bus.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, overall, it was so much fun. And I loved working with
it. It was very well put together. The whole production, like even me and Anthony were talking about it, and
yeah,
it was filmed well, directed well, acting in it was great.
The acting I really enjoyed the acting in it. I did.
Would you say the girl's name was Laura? Was it?
Yeah, Laura.
She has such a great presence on the screen. I don't know what it is about her. She's just like she's really able to get into characters, isn't she?
Yeah, she dove straight into it, and she was only brought on. There was an issue with the cast, and she was brought on the day before we started filming.
Jesus.
Because someone dropped out, and she was texted the day before we started filming. And I'm delighted that she was approached, because God knows how that fight scene would have went. It would not have been as safe as it was with her.
Yeah.
And it would not look anywhere near as good as she made it look.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Right. Come here. There's a lot of stuff you did say, so that's really good. That's what I like doing about podcasts as well, is that someone can come on, they can just talk for ages. I can just sit here and ask questions, so it's perfect. But James, do you have any questions for Corey himself?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, pal. How are you? I miss you.
I haven't seen you in ages. I haven't seen you since we done Gumdrops. That would have been last time, I think.
When was that?
Last year. Well into the summer last year. I think.
It's actually like, I think it's longer than a year.
Yeah.
For that.
I'm actually going to be going to Sallynoggin.
No way.
Yeah, I'm like redoing everything, because like didn't turn out the way I wanted in Biffy, so just switch things.
Sallynoggin was great. If they still have Catherine and Denise there, they're two brilliant teachers. Denise was Fran's wife on Love Hate. The blonde one.
Oh, cool.
Denise Richardson, I think. And Catherine is Catherine was in Fair City. Like, they're two brilliant teachers, and I got on so well with them. I think they really pushed me as well. Like, to go forward.
That's why I know myself. Me and Anthony we kind of. Me and Anthony kind of push each other, but Anthony knows himself that I don't push myself enough.
No, so I'm there fucking pushing, literally fucking shoving him, saying, come on, do this, do that. And like, literally, that's why I'm asking him to James has a YouTube channel, as you know, and James started doing his own podcasts, and for the likes of that, and I just keep saying to him, come on, do more, do podcasts and stuff like that. So do more, and he is going to start doing more, because you have your camera and stuff and all that as well, James.
Yeah,
so
I'm literally just waiting to get a webcam, and then I'll be up and running.
Yeah, up and running, ready to go.
So that's the thing I wanted to talk about as well, is that the two of you were in Gumdrops as well, and I did watch a few scenes. Gumdrops was written by Bobby Calloway, and it was also directed by him as well. And I want to talk a bit more about that. So, Corey, for the likes of that, what was it like? Is that your first time doing kind of episodes and stuff like that as well for someone?
Yeah, that would have been my first series type thing.
Yeah.
No, I only done one episode. Yeah, I've only filmed one episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
when I said Gumdrops, I was talking about when the actual meet up for the Gumdrops.
The meetup was, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I've only filmed the one episode, and I had like a line or two in it.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like it was a good day. Like it was a good experience and all. And it's great. It's always great to work with Bobby. I do love Bobby a lot.
Yeah, Bobby does a lot. I like Bobby as well.
Talk about on that one because I was only down there for the day, really.
Yeah, yeah.
And he has been trying to get me to come back, but it just hasn't been matching up. schedule.
No, I just wanted to ask because you do short films, and I just wanted to ask did you like doing the series for a change? But I'm that's the only question I was asking on that anyway. It was kind of a small segment on that one. But for the likes of your short films and so, do you have any that you're writing? Do you want to write any short films of your own? Do you want to make any?
Do you know what? Like, I would. But I think I'd have to practice at writing first.
Yeah.
Like I was saying to you earlier, at the moment I'm trying to take on the guitar.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try and give that a go first and see if I can at least occasionally play it. And then I'll probably try to start getting into writing, because God knows. God knows how long this is going to go on for. I could have all the time in the world to nail guitar.
You can have an album by then,
Yeah, God knows.
Led Zeppelin after.
But for the likes of that as well, is that, guys, we're going to get into the last segment of this podcast, and it's one that I get very excited over, depending if the person knows or not. But guys, this is Ghost Stories. Ooh, scary. Right, so Corey, this is a thing that I brought in only a few episodes ago and called Ghost Stories, and I have two questions. One, do you believe in the afterlife and so like that? And two, do you have any stories, or do you know anybody that told you any stories that you think is worthy to come onto the podcast? Don't disappoint me when I'm messing.
Yeah, I'm a huge believer of reincarnation.
Right. Okay.
Like, I think we do come back as something. And I think it is based on how well you do in your own life, how well you treat others and everything. But any ghost stories?
Any of your experience, anyone that has probably told you a ghost story before, or anything that happened to them before? Because Corey, only 2 episodes ago, I was talking to this girl named Saoirse Smith. Her podcast will be out before this, and James already knows. So I used to have a telly here only 2 podcasts ago, and I was reenacting. She goes, when she was asleep, she felt like a hand on her face, and she said that was pulling her. I was like, right. So I goes, oh, imagine that happened. Imagine just doing that. And I done that. But then I whacked my head off the telly, and the telly fell down on top of me.
No.
Now I showed James and Sarah, and they were fucking. But I was laughing. I was like, Nicola! I was in shock. I didn't know what was happening.
Did you keep that in?
I'm keeping it in. That's going to be like literally what you're going to see is that I'm going to do that. Boom, telly's going to fall. All you're going to hear is Nicola, and it's going. That's going to start it. That's what's going to start it. But that fucking freaked me out as well. But for the likes of yourself, do you know anyone that kind of experienced anything like that? Or have you heard any stories?
I've heard a Banshee story, but
Corey, when I was smaller, I'm so sorry for interrupting you. When I was smaller, me and my mates are out on the wall, and one of my mates' dads. Now it was during the day as well. It was the daytime, and we were sitting there on the wall, and he told me, he goes, "We're going up to Sligo because we're all going up to stay in his granddad's or something. So we're all going up there, about fucking 20 of us." And he goes, "Now watch out for the Banshees." And I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "Banshees." And he goes, "What Banshees? What are Banshees?" And he goes, "You've never heard of Banshees?" And he goes, "No." And he goes, "Right, well, at night time, they come at night time, you can hear them cry. It's like a baby crying, and you find a brush or something like that." And he goes, "Right, guys, sorry about that. Zoom cut off on us. So back to the story. So we're all sitting on the wall. Just let me catch up there. So we're sitting on the wall. He came out to us. We're all going down the Sligo, and he was telling us that a Banshee. And I was like, "What Banshee?" And he goes, "This is a Banshee." He goes, "They scream. They have the hairbrush." So we're all sitting on the wall. And he starts going into detail about what a Banshee is. Now, it's me. I'm 15 years of age, 14, 15. Now, I'm a teenage man. Like, I'm a young man. And I'm sitting on the wall. And about 10 of my mates are around me and the dad. And he starts describing it, saying, "Now, she'll kill you and she'll get you." And I'm not messing. This was me. And I start crying. I'm not even joking. I started crying, and they were all like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And I'm like, "Is that real?" I was 14 or 15 years of age. Most fucking 14, 15-year-olds are selling drugs in Clondalkin. I was such a fucking pussy. I'm such a pussy. Like, literally. And I ran into my house, and the dad had to come in. He used to live there, and he came like, is he all right? Is he all right? And he goes, yeah, he said you were talking about Banshee or something. He goes, don't be saying that to him because he's sensitive. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm a pussy, lads. I'm telling you now, I'm such a pussy. I just start, like, out of nowhere, I just start going, like, you can picture my 15-year-old self where the boys are probably doing a drug deal across the road and I'm there scared over a story, like, but yeah, that's my story anyway. But yeah, please, Corey, please tell me the story about the Banshee, please.
Well, I wasn't as old as you were anyway.
Right.
I was about 6 or 7, and my mate's dad started telling us the story. And this is the first time I ever heard of a Banshee. And the story I got told was she was left on her wedding day. So she was crying, and she passed away crying. So she's in this wedding dress with the veil and all. So I'm already imagining this horror scene.
Oh, yeah.
Like that most 80s or 90s films had, like these creepy women with the veils over their heads and all. So he was like, yeah, but if you hear her crying, then someone in your family dies. But if you see her crying, you die. And I was just like, what? And he was like, yeah. And if you ever see a comb on the ground, never pick it up.
I'm having PTSD
because it's
right
hers.
now about that moment.
Because it's hers, and she will come after you to get that comb.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know what it is, but there is random combs on the ground in Dublin.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what it is. I've seen, even to this day, I see a random comb on the ground. I'm like, no.
You're not picking that up.
And I walk away from it. I walk across. If it's on one side of the street, I'm on the other side.
Yeah.
But he said that one night he was in bed and he was woken up by the screams. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, no, I was full on woken up. She was across the road. There was a field and like someone's back wall. She was sitting on the back wall, screaming, crying. But no one else could hear it but him. And then he said, no joke, a month later, his mom passed. And I was just like, what? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, no, you're fucking lying to me. Obviously didn't curse. I was a 6 or 7-year-old kid, but I was like, you're lying. And he's like, no. So I went home and I said it to my stepdad. And he was like, yeah, no, Corey, that's 100% true. And I was like, what? And he was like, there was one night where he's a taxi driver or a minibus driver. So there was one night he was doing a job down the country. And it was pitch black in the middle of the night. And he was driving along the road. And there was another guy, like a passenger in the front with him. And they were driving by. And the lights just caught this girl standing on the side of the road with her hair over her face. And he said, Corey, I just kept driving. Like, what kind of person is, what kind of girl is, normal girl is this out at 2 or 3 in the morning with her hair over her face standing on the side of a pitch black road? And I was just like, no, that's just not true. And he's like, no, it is. It's 100% true. The Banshee is real. And I was like, no, stop doing it. I had nightmares for weeks of the Banshee being out my back garden. I was terrified from it.
That's fucking...
It's this
fucking mad.
I love these segments because the stories of people, and I know, like, I could be talking about anything. I was talking to someone about there was this girl that her episode will be out. Her episode is out. It's literally your episode. Her episode is literally previous to yours. I done hers yesterday, but for people now, it'll be a lot sooner. But I got her on to talk about music and then her pregnancy because she went through a pregnancy. I went through that. We were talking about babies. We were talking about everything. And then at the last bit, I'm like, right, we're getting into another segment now. We're going ghost stories. And then I could see her going, what the fuck? What's happening? Like, get me, like, we're talking about this. And then you go, but I don't care what I'm talking about. I want to end every fucking podcast on them because I love listening. I love fucking thriller films. I like horror films. And I loved when I miss when I was a kid and you'd watch Chucky or you'd watch Freddy Krueger or something, and the terrifying fear that went through you as a child, like that. But I'm not like that anymore when it comes to films. But when someone tells me a story, it's the same feeling I got when I was a kid, and I miss it. And I know I know at the time you're like, oh, I don't like that, but you do, man. You fucking do. Like, and I just miss it. And for the likes of that story, that was a good story, man. Fucking fair play to you. I was like, please, because every time someone comes on, like, do you have a story? Does anyone have a story? And like, some people do have a story, and some people don't.
I never heard the whole thing of her being a dead bride that was crying on her wedding day because he left. That makes it more intense.
It does, doesn't it?
It's a good story. It's a good story.
It adds to it. Like, it really does, like, add the freaky part to it.
Yeah.
Because, like, there's a reason for her crying now.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what makes it more real. Like, if you just go, oh, she's crying. Why is she crying? Oh, she just is.
Yeah.
But being left on her wedding day and dying from heartbreak and crying. Yeah.
And she died when our love is gone. There was no love there when she died. So maybe I don't know what the thing about the brush is.
Revenge from the world.
Yeah, she doesn't want other people's loved ones, around. If she can't have love, why does everybody else need to feel love and stuff like that? So she either kills people or she kills you. But I don't know. I don't get the brush. What's the story? Do you know?
Maybe she was just brushing her hair on her wedding day or something like that.
Maybe she was getting all nice.
Maybe
and
it was a
pretty
gift. Maybe it was a gift.
Oh.
Lads, I'm telling you now, we can do a whole podcast on this. I'm telling you. But James, what's your opinion on the old band? I hate saying the word, man, because I'm freaked out.
We used to run around my state when we were younger, and because we're Wicklow's kind of, it's nearly the country. It's not entirely the country, but it's nearly the country. But freaky shit used to happen when we were younger.
Yeah.
Like, I remember it was one time when I think it wasn't actually that young, but it was like 12, 13, and we were going out camping in British. And when this was going out towards British Bay, and it's just a long, straight road, pitch black, no lights, nothing, hardly any cars or anything go by. And I mean, me and two of my friends were walking down the way. We were going to meet more people down at the beach. We weren't that far off. And just over the field to the left, we heard not like a scream, but like a fucking screech.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like a proper, like cackling, piercing scream. And we were like, that is not even human. And we were like, nope, gone, no, not a fucking chance.
See, you're mad for that, because growing up watching horror films and so, if I seen a road that was pitch black, I'm not going down it.
No.
I'm the person that screams to the film, don't go fucking down there. You're going to die. And James is there with his mates at 12 or 13 going, I'll box the head off anybody. And he going, din, 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 going down. And he's like, that's fucking mad, man. I wouldn't, as I said, I was 14 or 15 and I started crying in front of all the lads. I'm not brave. I'm really not. I'm more brave now. I'd like to think I am, but back then, no. But for fuck's sake, James, no, man. Just stay away from dark lanes, man.
Yeah.
There's
common sense, really.
Yeah,
it's
like, do you know what I mean? The ghost ain't gonna, like, ghosts, fair enough. They say the living will hurt you more, they hurt you more than you. I guarantee you walk down a dark alleyway or dark road, you're getting mugged, James. You're getting fucking, do you know what I mean? I guarantee you. But guys, that's it.
Casper.
What? Casper's coming down and gutting
you. It's not Casper down those dark alleys.
Something's happening. He could be called Casper from Dublin. All right, name's Casper. Name's Casper, boys. You know where I'm getting back from. There's no buses. But yeah, guys, so this is it for this podcast. Corey, I'm being dead honest, right? When we started this podcast, I was kind of like, I'd say we don't know each other. It's the first time we ever, and Corey was you can see straight away he was friendly. You can see that we were friendly straight away while we're waiting for James. But to me, I was like, oh shit, I think I'm acting a bit awkward or so like that. And we as we went on, I think once we started the podcast and we got into it, I was saying this to James as well a few minutes ago. I think that the more the podcast went on, it was smooth. The first minute I went into it got smooth. I was just a bit nervous. I don't know why. I was just a bit nervous.
I was the same, Anthony. Because we've never spoken, as I said earlier, in person. The only way we've talked is either over email or Messenger.
Yeah.
And this is my first podcast, so I didn't even know. Like, I was just a bit nervous about that as well.
Yeah.
But even just talking to you.
drugs on or something? Do we do drugs on podcasts? Is that what we do?
Yeah, I thought we were all having fun. Isn't that what Joe Rogan does, isn't it? That's like, I smoke like a zoot like this big. I don't know. That's what happened. But yeah, no, it was so much fun. I'm glad that you had me on. I'm delighted. Because I was very nervous at the start myself. And I didn't know which way it was going to go. And then when you said James was joining, I was like, well, that does make it easier.
That's what I done.
But we were still having a nice conversation before that as well.
Yeah,
so
we would still have a nice. I would have taken this, but I know James. You know James. It's a mutual friend. So I thought, you know what, we bring him on as well. And I did want to start bringing James on every now and again for episodes to be a co-host for the likes of that, because as I said earlier, me and James can kind of bounce off each other as well. Do you get me? As he said earlier, we help each other.
I can come in at the start and it'll be like, what, welcome, please take your seats.
Yeah, you can do the intro or something like that. Do you know what? We'll do that for the next one. We'll do that for later on this evening, because we're as I was telling Corey.
Too shy.
No. But I was saying to Corey earlier that we're trying to do as much podcast as we can. That I'm trying to get through as much. I'm literally, my slots are 11 in the morning and 7 in the evening, so it gives me time to do an hour each. But there's nothing else to do. There's nothing else.
There's nothing. That's the thing.
Yeah. I even went. Bobby started his own podcast, and he got Adam. I think it's Adam Douglas. I think his name is Adam Douglas. He's a ginger chap. Nothing wrong with that at all. I have a ginger beard, kind of, if I can grow any. And he had me on his podcast for episode 2. So even Bobby's starting to do podcasts now and stuff like that as well. But a lot of people, when I'm coming on, they're saying, I haven't done podcasts before or stuff, and I'm like, yes, I'm the first. I'm the fucking first. But come here, Corey. Before you go, come here, you think of anywhere you want, buddy. I fucking. But before we go and end this podcast, is there anything you'd like to plug that I can put down in the description below?
Oh, at the moment, with everything going on, not really. I haven't, there's nothing really filmed yet. Me and Bobby want to do a scene from Game of Thrones. And I'm also a part of this other Zoom kind of film. Someone wants to make, where we're having, there's 4 people, and we're having a business meeting over Zoom, and the story unfolds from that and everything. So we're doing a script read on Tuesday for that, but that's probably the only thing I've got going on at the moment.
Yeah. Well, do you want me to put your Instagram in the description below if people want to go follow you for any future projects you do or something like that as well? Just in case. Yeah. Do you have a Facebook page, like an acting page for your Facebook, or is it just for your Instagram?
Just Instagram, really. The Facebook I'm kind of leaving behind. It's my own personal one that I kind of forgot about.
Yeah.
I've had for 12 years or something.
Yeah. Right, so guys, that is it for this episode of the podcast. James, would you like to do the outro, please?
Oh, no, I teach Corey the outro there.
Right, Corey, you have to say this, right? So say, guys, thanks so much for watching. And remember, it isn't the best podcast, but it's not the worst podcast. It's just an alright podcast. So if you want to say it, we'll count to 3, right, James?
Okay,
you say 1, 2, 3, action, right? Are you ready, Corey?
Right.
This is the first time this ever happened. You better not fuck it up, Corey.
Oh, guys, okay. Ooh, this is a lot of pressure.
Go
1,
on, James.
2, 3, action.
Guys, thanks for coming and watching. It's not the best podcast. It's not the worst podcast. But it's an alright podcast.
Right, you got it. You got most of it. Yeah, well done.
I fucked it up the first time I did it.
Yeah, it's all right, guys. It's all right. Come here, guys. As Corey said, it's not the best podcast, not the worst podcast. It's just an all right podcast. Guys, thanks for watching. This is episode 46. We have another 4 more before we're on the 50 mark. So, guys, thanks so much for watching. My name has been... Oh, my God, I almost done my second intro, James. No, this has been... guys, and Corey, thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
When all this is over, I'd love to have you on again when you have more projects and so you can promote and stuff like that as well, and we can do more stuff for the likes of that.
God, yeah, I'd love to be back on.
Yeah, perfect. Right, James, thanks for coming on, being co-host, and Corey, thanks for coming on and joining us on this week's episode. Guys, thanks for watching, and peace.